Hey guys, I want to share something with you today. I was talking to a buddy of mine who had one of these. He's got one of these greenhouses, these Harbor Freight 10 by 12 greenhouses. He's had it for about 2 years, and he's had nothing but problems with it, with the panels blowing off, and the thing kind of wanting to twist and come apart. And he was wondering how come I don't have any problems with mine. Well, I've had mine for about 6 years. And the first 2 years, I had major problems with it, and I had the same problem with panels. I mean, they go bye bye. I don't even know where half the time they they went. I don't know. I think they ended up in my neighbor's yard. I don't know where they went. But anyways, there were some modifications that I had to make to this to make this a suitable greenhouse. If I was to do this again, I mean, all the problems and frustrations that I've had with it, I probably would have built myself a glass greenhouse and not even worried about this plastic and aluminum because of all the frustrations that I've heard other people having. But now that I've got the modifications done and whatnot, and that's out of the way, it's an okay greenhouse. Now the panels on it, of course, over time they age and they start to crack. And I've had a few of them they just crack or anywhere. I mean, there doesn't seem to really be a stress point where they crack. They'll get old, the sun will beat them, and then they'll get yellow like this, and then they'll crack. So, but anyways, I'm going to show you the first modification I did. I did two major modifications. Well, actually three. Two outside here, kind of combined as one, and then I did a modification inside. So the first one I'm going to show you is, well, let me bring you in closer, and I'll show you the first one that I did. Okay, now the first modification I did was to make sure that I secured these panels. Now these panels, I got to tell you, it was an exercise in frustration. These things just wanted to, I mean, they blew off of here like there was nothing holding them on. So the first thing that I did was, on the Harbor Freight greenhouse, there are aluminum braces that go the whole length of the greenhouse. There's one here and there's one a little bit down farther here. So what I did was, I took self-tapping screws, and they're grommeted, meaning that they have a little rubber gasket on here to kind of help keep water out. I don't know if it's necessary, but I like the fact that there's rubber on these because it's not so sharp against the plastic. So what I did was, these are 1/4 inch, so I just drilled like a 3/16 hole, and then I just screwed these in, and then by self-tapping, they made their own threads. And then when I screwed these down, I went right up to the plastic to where it just started to squish the plastic a little bit, or the poly panels, and then left it there. I didn't go too tight. And I did this on here, and then the one right down here. There's another one down below here. And I did this all the way around the greenhouse to help secure these panels. Now, what you could do is that I mean, I probably would have gotten longer ones and then gotten bigger washers, rubber washers on here to kind of give it more mass to hold it. But so far, these seem to be holding, but a couple of them have got a little bit of crack right here. But these have been on here for 6 years, so I'm not really too concerned about it. So I don't know if that's going to be a stress point at some point. But anyways, that's the first major thing that I did. The second thing I did to hold the panels on was I got more of these clips, and you can buy these clips online, and it's these clips right here. So I just doubled up all the clips around here to make sure. Now I've heard of other people online that have doubled the amount of clips and the panel still blew off. So I haven't had that problem because I did these grommeted screws. So you might want to do the screws and do like triple the clips if you can afford it. I don't think they're that expensive. I can't remember what I paid because, like I say, it was 6 years ago. So this is the first panel modification that I did to these, and they seem to be holding pretty good. So now I'm going to take you inside and show you what I did inside to secure it and to make sure that I kept it square. Okay, so now let me show you what I did inside to keep this thing square, because it kind of wanted to go like tweak and go trapezoidal on me and whatnot. And so what I did inside of here is I put 4 cross braces in, and I put 2 across the 10-foot length and then 2 across the 12-foot length. What I did was I took this electrical conduit, this galvanized electrical conduit, and I took a 10-foot 4-inch piece and went across the 10-foot span. And what I did was I took 2 inches on each side. I put this in a vise at the 10-foot mark, and then I put it in a vise, cranked the vise down so that the end was flat, and then I bent it at a 90-degree angle. I did that on both sides, and then it gave me 2 inches to screw to bolt into here. So what I did was the T bolts that go in this slot right here. I went and I got myself some longer ones. I drilled holes into it, and then I put nuts on the end of the bolt. So what that did was that made it a lot stronger here to keep it from going this way. And I did this twice. I did it the two panels in on this side, and then 2 panels in on that side there. And then I did the same thing with the 12-foot span. Now with the 12-foot span, what I did was, since I didn't have long enough conduit, I got one of those conduit connectors and just used one of those and put an extra piece on there. Now I suppose if you could find a nice, I don't know, 12-foot 4-inch piece, one straight shot, it would probably be better. But anyways, I did the same thing on this side also, and got longer bolts on the end and then put nuts on them, and that gives me 4 braces inside to keep this thing from moving like this and back and forth that way. And the one good thing about it is I can hang these baskets from rope onto here, and that's an added bonus to it all. Okay, so that's what I did inside to keep this from twisting. Okay, so that's what I did. That's the 2 major modifications that I did to the Harbor Freight greenhouse to make this thing secure. And I've had winds that were knocking down power lines and big trees that we have out front, and it was taking them down like they were just little twigs, and this thing stayed perfectly. I'm not saying that you're going to have the same results, but after trial and error, this is exactly what I've done to it, and it's secure. This thing is, I mean, it's not going anywhere, and we've had some major winds. So those are the 2 things that I did. And if you have any other things that you've done, if you've made some modifications and they weren't great for you, post them below, or a link to a video or a blog or something that I can go out and look at, and then share it with others. So, all right, thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch y'all later.